Welcome back to Weekend Buzz, everybody. I'm Tamani Wooley. The Classic Theater Guild's latest production is The Diary of Anne Frank. The Tony Award-winning play chronicles the writings of Anne Frank, a young Jewish girl who received a blank diary on her 13th birthday in 1942 during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands. Anne went into hiding for 2 years with her family and others, and in August of 1944, they were discovered and deported to Nazi concentration camps. Now, here to talk about this always powerful, and I mean always powerful and poignant play, are Gordon W. Brown, who plays Mr. Van Daan, Zoe Ava Brown, who plays Meep, and Caroline Jameson, who plays Margot Frank, Anne's older sister. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
So, Gordon, I can't say it enough. It's an important play, but The Diary of Anne Frank is always a very difficult play, I think, to kind of sit through.
Well, I think there's an opportunity for a little catharsis for those people who are connected to the Jewish culture, but there's also a real opportunity for some education about what folks went through during the Holocaust and during the time of the Nazi occupation throughout Europe. So this story is a little different from, a concentration camp story.
Right, yes.
Because these people are in hiding, and there were people in hiding all over Europe. So these two families come together to try to protect themselves from being deported, as they say in the, as the script says. Yeah. And so I think it's fascinating that these folks managed to survive actually as long as they did.
Because, 2 years, which is huge to be in hiding and during such a tumultuous time. But I agree with you. I think it's such an important story to be told and to be told over and over and over again. We shall not forget. And Zoe, what's it like for you being in this young and exploring this kind of material?
I am having a great time with it, especially considering I'm playing a character who wasn't in the annex. She was helping them. So not only am I feeling all of that animosity about being in hiding, I'm also out there working the black market, making sure they have food, making sure they can survive as long as they could, and then putting myself and my family on the line in a completely different way from the way they are.
Yeah. And I think, Caroline, theater, I say it over and over on this show, is such an amazing way to explore history, to introduce history to other people.
Absolutely.
So can I ask how old you are? Yeah, you're too young. How old are you?
I'm 15.
There you go. Like, if you're under 25, someone can always ask how old you are. What has being a part of this production been teaching you?
Oh, it's just been an incredibly interesting experience, and I'm learning so much about acting through these amazing and older cast members. Yeah. And
you have quite the cast, I have to say. There's a lot of you up on that stage and some great veteran actors that you have, so I can imagine it's been a great experience for you.
Definitely learning how people who've done this business for so long, how they act, and I've learned more from them, and I think they've learned maybe some from us.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to have fresh blood, right, Gordon, and think of something a little differently. That energy is amazing, the youth energy.
There's a chemistry among this cast. There has been... We've been working as an ensemble from the beginning. There are some, except for the character of Anne Frank, who really gets a lot of focus. It's her diary.
Yeah, an actual diary, and I think people need to know that. I mean, it was her actual diary that was turned into a book that now was turned into a play and translated into multiple languages.
But Steve Soriano, the director, from the very start, he said, I want everyone at every rehearsal, because they're all in that annex together for the entire time. So he wanted all of the chemistry to develop together rather than splitting it up into little scenes. There are no real spots where it's just one or two people in a scene. And it's kind of interesting in that way.
And you can sense it when you see the show. You can sense the chemistry that's been formed. And that's something that you can't fake. You know what I mean? Like they say, if you have it or you don't, and you really sense it with this cast. So Zoe, what do you want to say to young people out there to get them to come and see the show?
Well, I think it's an amazing learning experience for anyone, young or old, especially if this is something that you're studying in school, plan to study in school, have studied in school. It's important to see stories about people other than yourself, because otherwise you won't learn, and having that opportunity for some diversity, whether it's religious, race, anything, is incredibly important to everyone's lives.
Yeah. And talk about your character, Miss Caroline.
Margaret Frank was Anne Frank's older sister. She was 16 when they entered the annex, and she was 18 when they were eventually captured. And not a lot of people really know who Margaret was, because she isn't like mentioned a lot in the diary, but she actually had her own diary, and it was just never found when they were captured. So I think she's an introspective girl. She always thinks before she talks or acts, and that really balances Anne's like precocious and curious and really bubbly personality.
Yeah, yeah. Are you an older sister?
I'm a younger sister.
Oh, you're an younger sister like me. Isn't it great being the youngest?
It is.
It's good,
it really
right?
is.
You got a little something going on there when you're the youngest. And talk a little bit about the Classic Theater Guild, Gordon, because you guys do really good work. And like you said, you have your name for a reason. You really do focus on the classics.
I am brand new to this company, so but when the audition notice went out and I saw them doing an important play, I'm sort of coming back to acting after doing a lot of other kinds of work in the theater and in the past, and so I'm starting to look for roles that really interest me. And when I saw the audition for this, I came out. And what I really like is that there's a high level of commitment from everyone involved in this. Everyone's a volunteer. And you know, these are people who have come from all walks of life, and they come in to enjoy the performance art of theater.
And it's done from the heart. It really is. So
very
listen,
much so.
I want to thank you all so much for coming in. As I said, The Diary of Anne Frank, you can't get a more important piece than that. Go see the production, everybody, because it opens this weekend, and it's playing through November 10th at Congregation Beth Israel. Now, for more information on tickets and showtimes, just log on to the Facebook page of the company. Up next is the Empire State Youth Orchestra, and a brand new on the menu.